Well, welcome everybody, and thanks for deciding to take this time for yourself. We're going to start, as we always do, finding our seat. And for meditation, that means not only setting yourself physically up in a position that is going to be sustainable and that you can relax in, but also to be setting your mind into a place where whatever your expectations are for what's going to happen, should be happening, needs to be happening, can get a little softer. So whatever is on your to-do list for what you're accomplishing in meditation today, tear it up. Or let it at least be in the background of your mind and not the forefront of your mind. So this is the time to just be with where you are and not to be looking to be anywhere else. So start to find that comfortable seat. Again, if that involves props, if it involves furniture, all of that is perfectly okay. Just find it. And then start to just do some gentle rolling of the neck. Maybe dropping one ear towards the shoulder, dropping the chin forward towards the chest. Good. I've very much been thinking to myself about how important it is to remember that meditation is ultimately a loving practice. And what you come into it with is an attention and a care for your body and your mind. Maybe move your neck the other direction if you've gone one way this whole time. And so since we're starting with creating awareness, is you have to start with what your body actually feels. If we try to just jump ourselves into meditation and think it's going to be like a switch, it doesn't happen that way. Just slowly bring your outer body to stillness. Bring the neck back to what feels like a nice neutral alignment. Maybe shrug your shoulders up and down. Maybe open and close your hands. Squeeze your hands. Move your fingers. And realize that this itself, this movement of the body, is part of meditation, that whatever you do stepping into the space where you are becoming more aware of yourself is meditation. Good. And then let the hands come to stillness. And as you let your eyes begin to close, start to notice the quality of your breath. Don't give it a grade that somehow the quality of your breath is an A or a B or a C. But notice if the breath is moving smoothly, if it's choppy, if it's short. Notice the most pressing thoughts in your mind, what has been demanding your attention in the background for days or weeks or months. Maybe allow those demands to be heard for a moment. Then equally allow yourself that as you hear the demand to say, I will get to that. And then come back to the breath. Taking in the state of your mind. Before you begin to look for that quiet, you have to actually hear what's there. For every thought that is heard that has not been heard before, every inner need, any inner desire that has not been heard, by allowing it a moment, a space, it will become quieter. And then as those thoughts begin to settle around you, wherever they settle, start to feel the space that is between them, around them. as though your thoughts are individuals sitting in the room with you. There's a space that is between them, space that is around them. And that space is what you are breathing into. The thoughts will sit exactly where they are. Your breath finds its way into the space. And as deep as that space is, that's how deep you allow your breath to go. And whatever thoughts you brush up against, you lovingly brush against them and go back to the space. And then into that space, begin to breathe in the sound of Om. And breathe out the sound of Om. With every breath, you're hearing that sound resonate inside. If you want it to be an external sound, you can allow it to be external as well, but keep it in that internal space of your mind. And that sound fills every corner, every bit of space there is between the thoughts, around the thoughts. As deep as that sound goes, that's as deep as you allow your breath to go. When you brush up against a thought, you lovingly brush against it and feel your breath flowing around it. And then with your next breath, as that sound of Om leaves with the exhale, just let your attention go wide, blue sky. With your whole inner eyes, you are staring at an endless blue sky. No beginning, no end. And a deep, deep, deep shade of blue. And the thoughts become like clouds, and if there's clouds in that sky, it doesn't make the sky any less blue. You can watch the clouds go by. And as wide and as deep as that sky is, that's how wide and deep you allow your breath to become. And then bring the attention back to the flow of the breath at the tip of the nostrils, down through your throat, into the body, into your seat. Notice your seat. Are there places that you have subtly been tensing as you've been seated? How do your feet feel? How about the tops of your thighs? What are your hands doing? What are your shoulders doing? Is your back tense, trying to stay straight? Start to move your spine in a little bit of cat-cow. The eyes can come open here if you'd like, or keep them closed. Meditation doesn't end because you moved. You know, there are some forms of meditation where the suggestion is that you place the body and then you specifically ask it not to move. Part of what we're practicing is how to meditate while still being in the world, which means that you have to be able to move and your mind can still be in that restful state. And if there is physically something that is keeping the body tense, the mind is staying tense. So that communication between body and mind is a deep part of meditation. We're not looking to escape the body, we're looking to bring the body into the same state of equilibrium that the mind is reaching for. So as you're ready, come back to your seat. The eyes have come open. You're welcome to bring them closed again. Good. And then start to bring the awareness to the breath again. Ujayi breath, the victorious breath. The one where you have a little restriction to your throat. So as you are exhaling, your exhale becomes audible to your ears. So you're still breathing through the nose. But if you're new to Ujayi breath and you're not sure of the feeling, you can exhale through your mouth like you're trying to fog up a mirror. And that's the feeling and that's the sound that you want to have. So you're feeling that slight constriction of the throat so that the exhale becomes tangible. And if you're very practiced with this breath and you want to start to feel that tangibleness on the inhale as well, you can. You can feel the breath flowing down the throat in the same way you feel it leaving the throat on the exhale. Find the sound of your breath. The practice is to continue to feel where there is space. If the mind feels like it's cluttered with thinking and we're focused on that, we attach to the clutter. In between and around every thought, even if there's an infinite number of thoughts, there is space. Your awareness, finding that tangible experience of space, is part of meditation. So that it's something you can hold in your mind. You don't just get lost in it. Meditation is not falling asleep. It's not the mind wandering. It's the mind staying so focused on the space that the thoughts become one with that. So with the next exhale, release that audible sound of the breath. Go back into that internal repetition of Om. However the breath moves, you inhale the sound of Om, exhale the sound of Om. And it's in this sound you may begin to feel the currents of your own mind, like an ocean or a whirlpool, like a thunderstorm. Maybe there's no sensation. Doesn't matter. Inhale the sound of Om. Exhale the sound of Om. As though your mind is a great cathedral. It's going to take that sound and reverberate it. And then with the next exhale, release that internal sound. You might find that the sound remains even though you are no longer consciously making it. Let yourself come back to the feel of your breath. Again, making adjustments to your seat if the body is demanding it. And again, it's cute that we try so hard that when we're asked to focus on one thing that we don't change what the body wants us to change. Because we think that somehow that's going to disrespect your meditation. Move your seat. The story that Krishna Das tells about when his time with his guru, that they had a guest who was coming and he was so excited because he was part of this meeting between his guru and this other great being. And they were serving tea, and in his mind he was like, oh, should I serve the tea, or is that going to be presumptuous, and should I not serve the tea? And if I don't serve the tea, does that mean I'm being disrespectful, and I really want to be of service here? Should I serve the tea? Should I not serve the tea? And this is all going on in his mind. And his guru turns to him and says, just serve the damn tea. I might have added the damn. But he says, just serve the tea. The amount of running around we do in our mind of what fits with meditation or what doesn't fit with meditation is what disrupts your meditation. Just change it so that you can come back to being undisturbed. That's the point. So change your seat if you need to change your seat. Okay. And then we're going to do alternate nostril breathing, but no hands. So it's a purely mental form of alternate nostril breath. So as you are inhaling, you are feeling the breath come in through the right nostril, and you are feeling it leave through the exhaling through the left nostril. And then you're inhaling through the left nostril and exhaling through the right. Continue like that, inhaling mentally through the right nostril, exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left nostril, exhaling through the right. And letting that breath be like a massage for the mind, a massage for the parts of the brain that are being stimulated. Meditation is a loving practice. The practice of coming home to yourself and knowing that this body and this mind is home. It's a home that has maybe been neglected and ignored. So those thoughts, when they demand your attention, let them speak. And then let them become part of the breath. The mind becomes quiet when it becomes seen. You're holding all of those thoughts within the spaciousness of your breath. You're becoming aware. You're breathing in through one nostril, out through the other, and it's only your mind that is perceiving it. Meditation never ends as long as you are breathing. You are flowing in and out of that state of the infinite. Keep feeling the breath flowing in one nostril, out through the other. And if you've forgotten which one is which or you've lost your rhythm, just start again. And every time you brush up against the thought, lovingly brush up against it. And come back to the space, come back to your breath. It will wait for you. On your next exhale, release that conscious direction of the breath. Come back to that internal sound of Om. If your mind is wondering why, you keep coming back to this one thing. I'm bored. Have the reminding thought that Om is all there is. No matter what thought you think you are coming back to, it feeds itself back to Om. Because that's where it came from. You're riding your thoughts, you're riding your breath back into that sound. Back into that vibration. Where all the thoughts and all the space and all of the breath becomes one. Breathe in the sound of Om. Breathe out the sound of Om. If the mind is still in 10,000 places and 10,000 pieces, fine. Breathe every one of them into that sound of Om. Allow yourself to release that internal sound. Bring the attention back to the feel of your breath. Before you open your eyes, I want you to hold yourself here still with the mind in that spacious place. And just let your skin become like a rag doll. Let it hang. Let your hands drop. Let your shoulders drop. Let your posture drop. Said that the yogis, the gurus, when they are in deep states of meditation, is their posture slumps. Because there's the experience of letting go, of trying to hold up one way of being, one way of thinking, of trying to hold the mind steady with effort. So while you meditate, can you have those moments where you let yourself go completely and realize it doesn't matter if your posture is perfect. It doesn't matter if your thoughts are in line. It doesn't matter if your breath is not smooth. All of those things help to feel the experience of meditation. But they're not what make it happen. So we have to practice that feeling of letting go, of trying to hold everything together. Because that's what makes meditation occur, when we let go. But it's our attention that it allows us to hold that spaciousness while we live in the world. So we need both. So work on your posture and then work on letting it go. Work on keeping your mind attentive and then work on letting it go. Practice effort to bring the mind into focus and then stop focusing and breathe in space. Your meditation never ends just because you move. Whenever you are ready, start to again squeeze the fingers, move your hands, maybe squeeze your feet and your toes. Come back to what the body feels it wants to do, moving the neck, moving the shoulders. Don't throw yourself from an internal space into an external one. Meditation, coming in and coming out, is a loving action. And then when you are ready, let the eyes open. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. Again, dropping the chin towards your chest. So again, it's a welcoming and an understanding that you're grateful, or I hope you are grateful, that you've given yourself the time to try to come home and to try to understand where your mind is going and what your body needs. Because meditation is when everything becomes one and we're no longer running from one thing to another. So the fact that you stopped, that itself is meditation. So a deep bow to your heart, and then slide those thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Always, always, always grateful. I'm going to unmute you. You can tell me how that went.